In my haul video before my last haul video, I had asked you guys if you wanted to see a video on the Urban Decay Beach collection. Urban Decay did send this to me, so I kind of wasn't sure if you guys wanted to see like a whole video on the products that were sent to me. And you guys responded with, yes, do it. So I went ahead and did that today, and there is a demo using these products that'll be towards the end of the video. First, I'm going to swatch them and give you guys my opinion on the whole collection. And again, a big thank you to Urban Decay for sending these products over. So the collection comes with 2 bronzers, an eyeshadow palette, 2 of their 24/7 Glide On eye pencils, and then 3 lipsticks. So I'll go ahead and start off with the bronzers. They have 2 shades. One is called Sun-Kissed and the other one is Bronzed. I have the shade Bronzed on my face today. When Urban Decay first launched these bronzers, I did purchase the shade Sun-Kissed, and it just pulled way too warm on my skin tone. I have a really red undertone to my skin, so I ended up passing it on, but I'm going to go ahead and swatch it against the other bronzer. I never did try the shade Bronzed up until I got it, and this one works so much better for me. Both of them are matte bronzers. The formula is really finely milled and pigmented. It blends out really nicely on my skin, and the shade Bronzed is actually, it is a warmer tone bronzer, but it's much more bronzy bronze than the Sun-Kissed shade, which again pulls a little bit more orange on me. So I've actually been using this bronzer, I feel like I've been using it like every day for the past week. There's 0.31 ounces of product inside of these. Again, these are matte bronzers, and I really think that the packaging is super cute. It is on the packaging, it's not like a sticker. So this is the shade Bronzed. Again, this is the one that I have on my skin today. And then here is the shade Sun-Kissed, right there. So the shade Bronzed works a lot better for me. I do wish, I think that both of these bronzers are for kind of a medium to lighter complexion. I do think that they could expand the range a little bit on these guys, because I don't think that these would work out on a deeper skin tone. And then the 2 eyeliners that came in here is one called Goldmine and the other one is called Lucky. Goldmine is the gold and Lucky is the, so penny and gold, like a copper penny, and then the shade gold. So you've got Lucky and Goldmine. I did use Goldmine. I lined it right underneath the outside of my wing. These last on the skin for me a lot better, but typically how I use a pencil eyeliner is on the waterline, and these don't hardly last at all on me on the waterline. So unless I'm going to use them on the eyelid kind of as an accent or something like that, I probably won't get much use out of these. That being said, my mom really enjoys these pencils. She uses a pencil liner on the upper lash line on the skin, and they work really well for her because the formula is so creamy. The Glide On name definitely fits the pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch them for you guys. This one is Goldmine. It is a pretty gold. I can about imagine they would make pretty eyeshadow bases as well, but I just typically use an eyeshadow primer. And then this next one is Lucky. When I attempted to film the video last Sunday, when my eyes were just watering and watering, I did put this on the waterline, and it didn't last hardly maybe half hour. But then again, my eyes that day were very, very, very watery. But I just do know from past experience that these liners don't last on my waterline. So there's Goldmine and Lucky, and I think my mom is going to get Lucky because I'm probably going to pass these on to her because again, these work really well for her. And then next up we have got the Beached eyeshadow palette. This comes with 8 eyeshadows that are 0.04 ounces per shadow. I have used every single shade in this eyeshadow palette. There is only one matte eyeshadow. This has got the same type of packaging as that collaboration that came out, what was it, a year ago? Look, you can kind of see one of the palettes right there. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it's got a cardboard packaging like so, and then inside here are your eyeshadows. So there's one matte eyeshadow in here, and that's the shade Daybreak. So today when I did my look, I did incorporate the Naked Petite Heat inside with the look. I have used this palette by itself I think roughly 3 times, and while the looks turned out pretty, it was just a little bit too much shimmer for me. The shimmer shades in here are superb. They're saturated, they're really pigmented, they blend really, really well. There is one that's kind of a shimmer satin, which is like this salt shade, which is a different formula than these really saturated metallic type of foiled shades. And the first time I used this palette, I wanted to use just these shades, and so I brought Daybreak up quite far and attempted to blend it into salt. So I was kind of doing that back and forth blending motion to kind of mush them together and kind of create its own transition shade. And over blending matte Urban Decay eyeshadows does lead to patchiness for me. The more recent Urban Decay mattes that have come out have worked a lot better for me than ones in the past, but I also know not to over blend the shadows because they'll go patchy. So there is the one matte eyeshadow, and then you've got this shade right here, which is a shimmer shade, but it has that same type of thinner formula. It's not as saturated and heavy in texture as the metallic shades. The metallic shades in here are stunning. So let me go ahead and zoom in a bit and give you guys some swatches, and then I'm going to compare it to the Naked Petite Heat. The shade Daybreak, which is the matte in here, does look very similar to two of the shades in the Petite Heat, but it's actually a shade in between. There's a shade that's lighter and a shade that's darker in Petite Heat, so they're not exact dupes. We'll just go ahead and turn the palette sideways and give you guys some swatches here. This for me is definitely going to be a pairing palette. It's not one that I'm going to reach for to use alone, but I definitely see myself reaching for it this summer, because like this, look at this shade. It's stunning. That copper. And then this color right here is also one of my faves. Super pretty. The blues are wicked intense blue shades. Very, very pretty. So there are some swatches right there. And then here it is next to the Petite Heat on the bottom, which is the palette that I paired with it in today's demo and look. So this color right here falls in between these two shades. Initially I thought it was kind of a dupe for this one, but this is a lighter orange than that one, and then this is a deeper kind of orange than that one. And then in the Petite Heat it does have one shimmer shade, which is this one. It's similar to Salt, but Salt is deeper, and this one right here, which is called Inhale, is shinier than the Salt shade, although Salt is shimmery as well. And then also for comparison, on the bottom you've got the Naked Heat eyeshadow palette, and then on the top you've got the new Beached one. There are some similar shades between the two palettes, but when I swatch them next to each other, they each have a little bit of a difference to them. Again, the matte kind of orange shades in here are not exactly the same color as the one in the Beached palette, but they are similar. One's just a little lighter, one's a little bit darker. The metallic shadows in here are wicked. They're like super saturated, really, really pretty. They're lid shades for me. The one thing again is this is not going to be a standalone palette for what I like on my eyes, so I'll be probably pairing it with other palettes like the Vsart Warm Neutrals. I've got all kinds of ideas going on in my head about that. And then again with the mattes, I just have to be sure not to over blend them, otherwise I will get patchiness. And then lastly, the collection does come with 3 lipsticks. I have got several of the Urban Decay lipsticks in their newest formula, and I really enjoy them. The ones that I don't like are the Comfort Mattes, but that's kind of a personal thing for me. I just don't really care for matte lipsticks. The packaging on this is very, very cute. Matches the bronzers and whatnot. So there are 3 shades in here. You've got Heatwave, which is a metallized finish, Tower 1, which is a metallized finish, and then the one that I'm wearing today is 100 Degrees, which is a sheer, and I've got that on with Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Streak, and that worked out really nice. This here, for when I first pulled it out, I was like, ooh, and then I realized it was a sheer formula, so I kind of got more excited about it. And I think it looks really pretty on. That's definitely a great one for summertime. And then this next one is Tower 1. I actually lined and filled in my lips with Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat in the shade Pink Venus. And then I went over it with this one right here, and it turned out really pretty. It's really sheer, but it has quite a bit of gold sparkle in it. It's got a little bit of that liner from when I used it on there, but... So for me, that's probably how I'm going to use this shade, is fill in my lips with a liner and then put this over the top, because it is a very sheer formula. And then lastly is the shade Heatwave. This is the one that I haven't worn yet. I was going back and forth between this one and then the, 100 Degrees? Yeah, 100 Degrees, but I went with 100 Degrees. This is a very, very metallic color. It matches the Lucky Penny eyeliner very well. So it's a metallic bronze. So there's 100 Degrees, Tower 1, and then Heatwave right there. When I asked you guys about PR in that video before the last video, you guys wanted me to kind of tell you which products would I have purchased. And I had plans already of purchasing the eyeshadow palette. I would have purchased that probably regardless. And then if I was able to swatch those lipsticks when I made it into Ulta and stuff like that, I would have picked up the shade 100 Degrees because I think it's really pretty. I don't think I would have ever given the bronzed shade of the bronzer another shot, based because I never cared for the sun-kissed one just because the color wasn't right on my skin tone. But now that I have it, I'm really enjoying using it. It does look really pretty on the skin. It's a very bronzy bronze. It's warmer, but it's not too warm that it looks kind of orange on my skin tone. So that is a pleasant surprise because I've really been enjoying using that. I actually kind of have a little bit of a dip in it. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. Again, a big thank you to Urban Decay for sending this over. Now, if you're interested in seeing the look that's on my face and how these products perform for me, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. Using a MAC 125 SE brush, I'm going to go into the Beached Bronzer in the shade Bronzed. And I'm going to bronze up my face and kind of use it to contour as well. I'm just starting in the back of the cheeks. Then go underneath the jaw to get a little bit of contouring going on down there. Then I'll put a little bit on my ear. Then using a Wayne Goss airbrush, I'm going to go into the Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour brush in the shade Indecent. It's kind of like it's a peach. I'm going to put that on the apples of the cheeks here. Blend it all the way back. Then using a big Chikuhodo powder brush, I'm going to go into the Guerlain Meteorites. These are the new rainbow pearls. They kind of have a matte finish as opposed to the ones from the permanent range. And I've really been liking these. So I just swirl them in there and buff them all over the skin. I feel like I need a little more color on my cheeks than the blush I use, so I'm going to use Benefit's California blush, and I'm going to take, this is a Ray Morris Mini Kabuki, and I'm just going to put a little bit more on, because the other one kind of didn't show up as well. And then to prime my eyes, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Eye Primer. I just take my finger and rub it on there to put it on, and then I'm going to put that from the lash line to underneath the brow. Just pat it on. Then, because there's only one matte eyeshadow in the palette, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Urban Decay Petite Heat palette to use with it. I'm going to use a Sonia G Builder 2 brush and go into the shade Double Dip, which is the brighter blue, and I'm going to put that on the outer 2/3 of the lid. And I bring mine up above the crease because my eyes are really hooded, and it'll just show up better like that. This shade is very pigmented. So I'm just going to bring it right like that, kind of make this half moon-ish shape. I'm going to dip a little bit into Plunge and kind of put this over the outer portion. Kind of make it a little bit darker on the outer part. Then I'm going to flip that same brush over and go into the shade Salt and put that right in front of the Double Dip. And I'm going to blend it in. Then I'll just kind of start going back and forth with the shades to blend them together. I'm going to go ahead and dip a little bit between these two shades, picking up just a bit of the strike color, and I'm going to use a Chikuhodo GSN 9 for that. So more so of Heist and just a dash of strike. And I'll put this guy through the crease. Then using a Sonia G Crease 1 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Daybreak from the palette. So what's the official name here? Beach Eyeshadow Palette. Pick up a bit of that on just the point and kind of run it through here. Then I'm going to take a Wayne Goss number 4 brush and I'm going to go into the shade Wild Thing, just to dip into that guy there and kind of go over this. Neither one of these palettes have a matte brow bone, so we are going to go shimmer under the brow. I'm actually going to use the shades Inhale and Vibrate. I'm going to mix these two colors together for underneath the brow. And I'm going to use that on an Esom G29 brush. That way it's not so bright. Then I'm going to use a Hakuhodo 5523 J5523 brush and go into just the shade Vibrate. And put that through here. So there's the shadow done. I have a little teeny bit of fallout, so I'm just going to go ahead and brush that off. Otherwise, there is the eyeshadow done. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eye makeup, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. I'm going to take the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Goldmine. These do not last on the waterline for me, but I'm going to use it kind of as a little accent underneath the outer wing here. Just to put, just for fun, a little bit of gold right here. And then for the lips, I've got the 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil, and this is in the shade Streak. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with this guy. And then to fill them in, I'm going to use the shade 100 Degrees. It's a sheer lipstick. So it doesn't come off quite as strong as it looks in the tube. And there's the overall finished look using the new Urban Decay Beached collection for summer of 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.